Thanks for this opportunity to present the highly interesting company and exciting company Amniotics. Amniotics is a rather young company founded in 2015 and also recently listed on Nasdaq First North Growth Market. We are, you could say, a small company, but on the other hand developing a broad pipeline of several compounds from mesenchymal stem cells targeting very, you could say, unique indication areas. What we do is that we develop and manufacture innovative stem cell-based therapeutics aimed at treating severe life-threatening diseases. These stem cells are based on the amniotic fluid, containing a unique richness in these high-quality stem cells. And from the amniotic fluid, we can select these cells for the different tissues, which we believe will be result in better efficacy later on. We have what we believe is a differentiating technology with several advantages. If we start out looking at the picture here, you can see that the amniotic fluid mesenchymal stem cells have a faster growth rate. Simply, you could say they can grow much faster, expand much faster. What is also very important to understand is that the amniotic fluid contains mesenchymal stem cells from the neonate, from the different tissues in contact with the amniotic fluid. And that's the reason for our ability to select these cells from that fluid. This results in tissue-specific mesenchymal stem cells with high quality, and each of these donations, single donations, can carry enough for more than 6,000 treatments for each indications. And what we focus on is these 4 different indications. We have respiratory, neurodegenerative, nephrology, and dermatology. So you could say it's a rather broad market with the ability to target each of them with our product. What we also see right now is that the product with mesenchymal stem cells is in a nascent situation. However, we view it to grow very rapidly within a very few years. And also thinking about that these products will be more costly to produce than small molecules, we have our focus set on, you could say, what's called rare or orphan indications, because this is where we see the biggest unmet need for this type of treatments that has the ability to work on these, you could say, generally understanding of these 3 different mode of actions of mesenchymal stem cells, meaning that they are anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic, and angiogenic. So you could say the ability to reduce the inflammation, remove the scarring of the fibrotic tissue, and increase the nutritions coming to the tissue with angiogenesis. Also, you could say a little overview of how these different indications that we focus on, how we view these to grow in the coming years. And as you can see right here, we are all targeting 4 different indications that each seem to have very high sales and growth potential. That is also why we view the company to have a big potential going forward. And each of these indications have the ability, or each of our cell products have the indication to go into several different indications within that tissue. So if we look at the lung, or what we call pulmostem product, that can target acute respiratory distress syndrome, pulmonary fibrosis, and lung transplantation. So different indications, and so goes for the rest as well. The neuronal can go for other indications, our broad spectrum. The skin can go for a broad spectrum, and so forth. So we see that these tissue-specific mesenchymal stem cells are very relevant in tissue healing and rejuvenation. This is an overview of our pipeline. Right now, our most advanced product is the pulmostem product, targeting acute respiratory distress syndrome, COVID-19, where we look to have first patient treated in first half next year. Then we'll follow on with pulmonary fibrosis and lung transplantation, you could say, kind of funneling in and targeting very, you could say, diseases with a high unmet need. And from there, we'll start expanding our pipeline into the other product. So we'll bring in our CogniStem for neuronal indications, we'll bring in our QT-stem for dermatology indications, and so forth. You could say continue building our pipeline and broadening it so we have additional indications moving forward. This is an overview of our product, and this is also, you could say, speaking to why we see that Amniotics is so unique, because you could say in one setting we have actually a medical device. We have the device to collect amniotic fluid at planned C-sections. So this is used when the obstetrician makes the first incisions and the amniotic membrane is exposed. then our product is used to go in and penetrate the membrane, and then you could say letting the fluid run into our bag. That bag is then transported to the next unique facility of Amniotics, or the uniqueness of Amniotics being also able to produce these products within our full GMP validated product facility. And from there, we will filter the product, we will select the different cells for the different organs, expand those and fill them on vials. So we have all the way from, you could say very early on, all the way to fill and finish with our products. And from that fill and finish, we can move directly into clinical trials or co-developments or do the preclinical studies needed. And you could say working with preclinical studies based on a product that's already GMP-like or GMP, full GMP produced, means that that product can very quickly move into clinical trials later on. This also speaks to that Amniotics controls the full value chain from research and development through manufacturing to filling of vials. And again, this means that we have a fully integrated internal manufacturing chain with the ability to, you could say, select where we want to move first, which pipeline product we want to take forward first, and hence you could say continue building upon that. It also means that we have the possibility to, you could say, contain manufacturing rights when we do an out-licensing, but it also opens up for secondary business opportunity in which we can produce products for other companies that needs the ability to have a GMP produced product. And as again, you could say here to the right, you have how our product, what we target, the neuronal, the derma, the pulmonary, and the kidney area. Speaking again to that, we have a full manufacturing facility, we have full certified manufacturing ability. We also have manufacturing rights for our PulmoStem products. So we have built the whole, you could say, production facility as well. So we have, you could say, really set the bar and are ready now to move quickly forward and expand the competences and potential of Amniotics moving forward. As mentioned, our first product moving into clinical trials is PulmoStem. PulmoStem, with its anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic properties, are moving forward towards COVID-19, acute respiratory distress syndrome, where the primary endpoints will be safety and tolerability, but we also look at, you could say, collecting some of these secondary endpoints based on efficacy in preventing development of the disease. Also, you could say, looking at some of the efficacy biomarkers and also some of the, you could say, some of what you could call the post-COVID-19 symptoms, such as fatigue. And you could say we have set it up as a adaptive trial design with 9 to 18 patients, meaning that we can expand indications dose levels in several patients. So really, you could say, be more confirmatory of where we'll be. We build a strong pipeline on our patents, all the way from our device, all the way through to the therapy indications. As you can see here, this is the way we structure it. So we have patents all across our setting, enabling us to have a very strong patent protection and really, you could say, continue growing our area with this. So if we go back here to, you could say, a quick summary of how we see Amniotics. When we look at it, global stem cell therapy market represents a nascent, but certainly also a high potential market. What we see it to be is that it's forecasted at global data to reach $3.1 billion already in 2026. We have the ability as Amniotics to license to pharma companies at different stages of development and offer manufacturing services to others. We have potential to create high value in orphan drugs. And as mentioned again, we have the ability to control the full manufacturing process, potentially even to train the manufacturing part in a licensing deal, working with these tissue-relevant neonatal mesenchymal stem cells that are tailored for each indications or each tissue. So you could also say it like life treats life. So you could say the giving birth to a life enables us to save life later on with our product. We have a broad pipeline targeting attractive specialty disease markets within respiratory, dermatology, neuronal, degenerative, and dermatology diseases. A quick overview of our management team. We have myself, we have Joni Humajoja as our Chief Financial Officer, Jan Taltz, our Chief Operating Officer, and Helle Sturm heading up our business development. And as you can also see here, all come with a strong background from pharma, from academia, with the ability to create further expansion of the company and higher development of the company. So with this, I'll end it up with a note that Amniotics controls the full value chain within cutting-edge stem cell technology based on mesenchymal stem cells from full-term amniotic fluid that are tailored for different diseases in high-value markets. And thank you for this opportunity to present Amniotics.
Thank you for an interesting presentation. What are the main competitive advantages of amniotics candidates?
I would say, you could say, some of them is, of course, you could say we've structured the company so we have the full value chain. We have the ability to move quickly. With that, we have both the device, which is quite unique. We have the manufacturing, which is also very unique. And then we have these tissue-specific mesenchymal stem cells that can each go for different diseases. So what we believe is that likes treat likes. So if you have mesenchymal stem cells from lungs, these are better suited for treatments of lungs.
And is there a possibility that the COVID-19 pandemic could accelerate the development of Pulmostem?
You can certainly say that the pandemic that we are seeing and the measures we have seen in this opens up for potential quicker regulatory moving forward and potential approval later on. But of course it leads to see how, you could say, the future goes.
And you mentioned that your GMP facility can be used for manufacturing service for other companies and universities. Are you already providing these services, or is it still in the future?
It is something that we have both had questions about, and we have also started discussion with various potential customers to our manufacturing facility. So it's certainly something that we work on, and right now we can easily handle that extra level of engagement in our GMP facility. So it's something we're working on right now.
And to sum this up, where do you see Amniotics in 5 years?
Oh, that's always one of the good ones. Well, where do we see ourselves in 5 years? And that's, of course, trying to tell about the future. But on the other hand, I see Amniotics really to have a high potential for growth, high potential to create value moving forward, potential also, you could say, to scale up and move. So we can even scale up in US and in APAC. So we have the ability really to you could say, grow and accelerate and create higher value for others. And I think that's very important to understand in a 5 years future, where we believe that we will be moving several products in clinical trials forward.
Thank you for coming here today, Kåre.
Thank you.